It is a Saturday. You do. You do make me laugh.
One tries.
Ah, jeez, we haven't even started the show
No.
yet, and I'm crying already.
But you know what I was thinking we should talk about? Because it's our birthday month, and
Yeah.
now we can go outside the borders of Gauteng, so we're not bound by the beauty and charm of Sandton. You know, so we can actually leave. Northwest Limpopo, the Cape,
Yeah.
yeah, where you go, that other place, Eastern Cape.
East-
So,
That other
okay,
place.
the bush,
Yeah.
yeah. And we were giggling because I was trying to explain to Jeremy how I travel. Now, my preferred way of traveling is alone,
Yeah.
but I appreciate that that's not always fair. So once or twice a year, I go away by myself. And the reason I go away by myself is not because I don't love my family. I do. It's because nobody asks for anything for a few days. I know where everything that I own is. So when I clean out the room, I don't have to say to anyone, have you looked under the bed? And as we get home in Joburg, there was something left under the bed.
Right.
So there's that. But when I travel with family, it's a military operation.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know if you're like this. A lot of people really like to meander through, drive through and have coffee on the way. And then people say, oh, you've got to go to the waffle place. I'm like, no, I want to get to the place. I want to get to the place where I'll sleep that night. So we must go. We must take the shortest route. Yes. Then when we get there, we must unpack immediately. So we can start the relaxation process.
Because by that time you're so uptight, you have to relax.
If it's self-catering, before we get there, we have to have a conversation in the car about who will be going to the shops to get whatever food we need and who will be at the house doing the inventory. Because there'll be no relaxing
Until
we've done all these things. Okay.
Right.
And I know I've taken after my parents because we used to go to the seaside on holiday. We used to go down to Leisure Bay on the south coast. And as soon as we got there, we could see the sea from where we are. We were never allowed to go to the beach because we had to do the inventory. How many teaspoons are in the drawer? I can only find 4. No one is going to the beach until the 5th one is discovered. And I've turned into that person now. Now I am the inventory person and the shopping list person and the have you unpacked person. I'm mildly disappointed, but it's just, how nature works. What do you like?
I'm not the inventory person. I'm a bit of a dichotomy
Right.
because I like the meandering part of it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I like to sort of see what's around.
Okay.
But having said that, I love planning for holidays
Oh, really?
because then it makes the holiday feel even longer. So if we're going up to the trout farm, for example,
Yeah.
I will sit for a good week before and I'll go, okay, how many of us are going up? Right, they are all together with the friends we've invited. There are 10 of us.
Oh, how awful.
Okay, we're going up Thursday, we come back Tuesday, because
Okay.
that's how our whole consortium works.
Right.
So I'll go, okay, right. Thursday night, I don't want to get there and have to cook.
Okay.
So I will pre-cook something. So I'll make, if it's winter up in Dahlstrom and it's going to be cold, I'll make a nice big shin and bean and tomato
Thingy.
bake.
That, yes.
And then Friday I will do potato with
Something long.
smoked. Why am I even talking to you about food? Because potato and onion and smoked
Okay, so for
pasta.
you, it's planning how you're going to eat.
Plan out what you're going to eat and maybe when you're going to go out to eat.
Oh, well, no, you see, I can't.
You say, well, why don't we go to the Poacher on Saturday for lunch? And then why don't we go to Mrs. Simpson's on Sunday?
See, now that's
for
interesting because
lunch?
I don't like to feel nailed down. I like to just get there and that people must put food in the fridge and then I must eat it when I'm hungry and not any other time.
But don't you feel more relaxed when you get there and you know that everything's sorted out? So you don't have to make any. My biggest decision that I want to make when I'm on holiday
Yes.
is at what time am I going to open that beer?
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be at what time do I put on pants?
It's very personal. Isn't it?
So then how are you when you leave? Are you one of those that's meander home as well?
No.
Really?
When you go home, you're going home.
You go home.
Yeah.
So you're up at 5 a.m. just packing those cars.
No, not up at 5, but once. You see, that's the one thing I don't like about international travel. No, I love international travel, but
Yes.
the one thing that I don't like about it is that the vast majority of flights are at night. So you
That's
wake up
true,
in the
yeah.
morning
And have to spend the whole day thinking about it.
and you sort of in limbo, and I don't like being in limbo.
No.
So I don't like meandering home. So whenever you get up,
That's it.
is you get up, and if you're going to have breakfast, you have breakfast or brunch, or depending on what time you get up, and then you pack up, but then you go.
Yes, I'm exactly the same. And what I like to do, especially when we're coming back from the South Coast, I like to check on Twitter the toll gates to see how full they are. And the reason for that is I have this kind of little race that I'm on. They don't know we're playing. And I want to see if I can get through the toll gates before the rush afterwards. Because that's the other thing. When we were single, or rather when we didn't have kids,
Yeah.
we were at a position where you could go any time of the year. It didn't matter.
Yeah, but now you've got to go in school holidays.
So you're in peak whenever you go.
Yeah.
So it was like, at one point Martin said to me, he goes, would you stop it? I'm like, if we don't stop for lunch, we can hit Moy River.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to hit Moy River, Sam. I just want to go for lunch. I'm like, no, there's no need for this lunch. What is this lunch of which you speak? So yeah, usually the last day of the holiday, I have to be very, very, very careful when we get home that Martin is allowed to do whatever he wants for the entire day. And then I just unpack, wash everything, sort out everything, put the sheets on the bed, I do it all.
Do you get home and just go into washing mode?
That's it. Absolutely. If I can get an extra load of washing on, I will get up at 5 a.m. to make sure there's a laundry going by 1 o'clock. I am that kind of person. I'm driven, man.
Yeah. By the sound of things, your husband's driven mad. Yeah.
Okay.
When's your next holiday? So we can warn people.
I'm the only person I know who still likes those old, those old little tables on the side of the road. Remember those little concrete things
Yes.
where
Yeah.
you stop and everyone had to wait because there was no such thing as an ultra
Yeah.
or a big engine. Now you go to one of the big petrol stations and everyone gets out the car and half you go off to the toilet.
Other
some
half
poor
go to
sap-
a mug and bean, some go to a wimpy, some go to
And some poor sap gets stuck actually filling up the car.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but in those days, when life was simpler, when it came to food, you just sat down at the little table and your mummy had made you some sausages and some boiled eggs.
and all the rest of it.
and
Yeah,
you just ate. Yeah.
used to sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's my tip. So I did a parenting tip once, and now I'm going to do a travel tip.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Right, this will be interesting.
So what is wonderful about all those big garage things with all the restaurants and the shops is that there's a place for you to go to the toilet. But sometimes you need to go and there isn't a place, so you have to stop on the side of the road. And if you're a boy, that's easy because all you do is just, whip it out and do the thing. But as a girl, there's more stuff to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is, and I was actually taught this by somebody from the AA. It wasn't a physical demonstration. She just told me what to do. So,
Is this
what
Alcoholics Anonymous or
No.
Automobile Association?
Association.
No, no,
Funny
just
it was
get
all
in
the way.
right here.
So what you do is you open the passenger front door, so you're towards oncoming traffic, as it were,
Yeah, and you open your
and you
door.
open the back door. Yeah. And then what you do is you sit on the edge of the car. And so you don't have to crouch. You sit on the edge of the car and you lean back slightly and you allow the flow of urine just to go out in front of you. And then it doesn't hit your shoes.
Love you.
Flow of urine. It doesn't hit your shoes.
I'll never forget coming back from a boys' weekend in Dulstrom.
You didn't care about that at all.
No, I didn't.
Try it.
Because I don't have to worry about the flow of urine. Coming back from Dahlstrom, we'd been on a boys' weekend, and so there we are in the bus coming back, and we were all having a few beers,
That sounds strange.
and we needed to stop for a pee stop, and there wasn't anywhere close by.
Right.
So we just pulled off at the side of the road. And he had just arrived out from the UK,
Who's he?
the person I'm going to tell you about.
Right.
And mate of mine, Christopher Watson.
Okay.
And Watto said, "What on earth are we doing?" And he said, "We're going for a pee stop." "But there's nothing here." He said, "Exactly, that's why we're going to have a pee." "Yeah."
Yes.
So we all bail out and we start hauling everything out, pee.
Yes.
And he walks out and he stands there and he looks at us and he unzips his flyer and he stands there having a wee and he says, "I can't believe this. I'm on the side of a highway and I'm urinating." He was absolutely shocked by it. "I'm standing on the side of a highway and I'm urinating."
Now, see, he should have tried the sit-down method so no one could see it. You get the flow of urine.
No, urine.
urine. I was
Have
still
a
drinking, that would be
wonderful
a
week
really
and
long
don't
night.
forget about the flow
Of urine. Bye.